Singular Wireless, and now AT&T. I have given a lot of speeches. Afterward, as I have conversation with people in the audience, I always find that what has resonated most with them is how far I have come. While they are interested in my business experience, like integrating AT&T Wireless and Singular, following the biggest all-cash merger in U.S. history, it is the personal saga that captivates them. In particular, they are moved by the idea of a young boy whose family was so determined to get him out of communist Cuba that they sent him off alone into the care of a couple whom they barely knew. People look at me and then try to envision me as the teenager who swept floors and cleaned bathrooms in order to help his family and put himself through college. They take heart that that same child and that same teenager has gone on to become the president and CEO of AT&T Mobility, the wireless subsidiary of AT&T, the #1 telecommunications company in America. They want to know how I did it. That is what I am going to explain here, so that you might grow in your own life by taking some of the same steps, the same guideposts I used then and continue to use now, can make self-fulfillment and high achievement possible for you as well. They provide the foundation that will allow you to reach your most ambitious goals. A world turned upside down. In the Cuba I recall before the revolution, the de la Vegas were a conventional middle-class Cuban family. My father ran a wholesale grocery business. He worked hard and was prosperous. My mother would be called, in today's America, a stay-at-home mom for Barbara and me. We had many aunts and uncles who spoiled us with presents. In the pivotal year of 1959, when Castro took control, I was 7 years old. The changes came quickly, and they hit hard for a close-knit family that held a strong work ethic, traditional values, and religious faith. Like millions of others from that time on, we lived in a state of constant uncertainty and anxiety. The freedom we had known was gone, replaced by intimidation and confiscation of property. Food distribution was taken over by the government, so my father's business was gone. Every family was given a libreta or ration book for food, which became increasingly scarce. At school, including former private schools now run by the government, the staff would challenge us to pray to God for ice cream or small change. When no ice cream or money materialized, we were told to pray to Fidel for the same. At that point, the miracle of ice cream or small change would appear very quickly. Most troubling of all were the fear and distrust that pervaded everyday life. Although no one in my close family was imprisoned, thousands of our countrymen had been locked up, and it could happen to anyone at the slightest provocation or just a suspicion. In the community, you didn't know who among your neighbors might be watching and listening on behalf of the government. Sometimes our family had extra food through my dad's old business connections, and my mother would cook it in the middle of the night when no neighbors were awake. At school, we were told to report to our teacher if we ever heard an adult, including our parents, criticize the government. The strategy was simple: undermine loyalty to anyone and anything other than Castro and the regime. Families like mine who had a young son had an extra worry. Boys nearing draft age, 15, would not be allowed to leave Cuba. There were also constant rumors swirling that Cuban boys were going to be sent off to Moscow to be educated. More than any other danger, the fear of losing their children, soul as well as body, motivated families like mine to try to get out. Applying to leave the country was a dangerous thing, however. You marked yourself as a gusano, a worm. Almost immediately, militia would show up at your house and inventory all your possessions. They made it clear.